Smurge building. I can't stop. Robin! Robin!
Hughie is so annoying. Why is he always whining? He's too weak for this show. If you spend any time into the boys' fandom, you've heard these complaints. In a world of literal gods who can laser you in half and monsters like Billy Butcher who eat trauma for breakfast, Hughie Campbell looks like a glitch. He looks like a mistake. He's soft, he's emotional, and he's constantly vibrating with a level of anxiety that feels out of place in a superhero story. But calling Hughie weak isn't just a bad take. It's a failure to understand the show's most chilling logical process. Hughie isn't weak. He's being reprogrammed. He is the only character in the show who started as a fully realized, healthy human being with a functional moral compass. And over the last 4 seasons, we haven't been watching a hero's journey. We've been watching a de-extinction event. The slow, systematic death of the ordinary man and the birth of a new kind of survivor. Today, we're breaking down the logic of how the system breaks a good person. We're looking at why Hughie's weakness was actually his greatest strength, and why he had to kill it to stay alive. To understand Hughie's reprogramming, we have to look at his factory settings. At the start of Season 1, Hughie is our moral baseline. He is the audience surrogate. He reacts to horror exactly the way you would. He panics. He vomits. He feels soul-crushing guilt after a violent act. Most viewers mistake this for incompetence. In reality, it's humanity. In the logic of Vaught's world, humanity is a technical debt. It's a bug that slows down the system. When Robin is killed, Hughie tries to use a human system to fix it. He wants an apology. He wants justice. He wants the right thing to happen. This is the moment the reprogramming begins. The system sends him an error message. Your pain is a line item. Your justice is a non-disclosure agreement. Hughie realizes that in a world governed by soup logic, being good is actually a form of vulnerability. If you follow the rules while your enemy ignores them, you aren't being moral. You're being a victim. The killing of Translucent is Hughie's first major software update. He doesn't do it because he's a killer. He does it because he's backed into a corner where the good option has been deleted. This is the first time Hughie learns the most dangerous lesson in the show. Violence is the only language the system actually translates. As we move into Season 2, Hughie's reprogramming shifts from survival to efficiency. Every time Hughie chooses restraint or tries to talk things out, someone stronger, usually Butcher or Homelander, decide the outcome for him. He starts to see that restraint is just another word for powerlessness. Butcher represents the legacy code. He's already broken. He doesn't have a moral compass to lose. But Hughie starts intact, which makes his transformation much more subtle and much more terrifying. He doesn't become cruel. He becomes practical. Notice how Hughie starts to renegotiate his morals. He doesn't abandon them. He trades them. He tells himself, I'll lie to Annie today so I can save her tomorrow. This is the logic of the lesser evil. The system is teaching him that you can't keep your hands clean if you're trying to move the world. To the system, Hughie is the perfect test subject because he is motivated by empathy, not ego. And the fastest way to reprogram an empathetic person is to convince them they are responsible for everyone's survival. If Hughie doesn't pull the trigger, his friends die. Therefore, pulling the trigger becomes a moral choice. This is the CineLogic of the show. It forces good people into positions where evil acts are the only logical solutions. Now, we have a talk about the Temp V arc. Many fans saw this as Hughie turning into a jerk or having a toxic masculinity crisis. But from a logic-driven perspective, Temp V wasn't a drug. It was an education. For his entire life, Hughie has been the reaction. He reacts to A-Train. He reacts to Butcher. He reacts to Vought. The moment Hughie teleports, The moment he experiences what it feels like to solve a problem instantly without needing permission or plan, his internal framework shatters. He isn't addicted to the strength. He's addicted to relevance. In a room full of gods, being the normal guy isn't just frustrating, it's humiliating. It means you are a bystander in your own life. Temp V taught Hughie that power works. It's a shortcut. Why spend months trying to find a legal loophole for Victoria Newman when you can just be strong enough to look her in the eye? The darkness here is that Hughie's logic begins to look exactly like the villains he's fighting. He tells himself he's different because he still feels guilt. But CineLogic tells us that guilt without change is just PR. If you cross a line and feel bad about it, but you still keep crossing it, the feeling bad is just a way to make yourself feel like the hero of a story you've already sabotaged. By season 4, the reprogramming is nearly complete. Hughie Campbell is no longer the moral baseline. He is a weaponized human. He represents the system's most successful product, the ordinary person who has learned to justify becoming dangerous. This is the most uncomfortable truth about Hughie. He proves that you don't need to be a psychopath like Homelander to be complicit in a violent system. You just need to be convinced that doing nothing is the greater sin. Hughie is the bridge between us, the audience, and the void. He shows us how easy it is to slide from, I just want to help, to, I'll do whatever it takes. He is a personification of institutional decay. When institutions fail to protect you, you become your own institution. And institutions don't have hearts, they have objectives. So is Hughie weak? No. He's the most adaptable creature in the show. He has survived a world that was designed to crush him by becoming something the world could use. But here's the logic-driven question we're left with. If you were in his shoes, watching the people you love die because you were too good to play dirty, would you stay good? Or would you let the system reprogram you? 2, if you enjoyed this deep dive into character logic, hit that subscribe button. In our next episode, we're looking at the other side of this coin. Why Starlight doesn't fail the world fails her. I'll see you in the next one.